NICS reports and 30 years of consistent investment needed to control flooding, says the federal government. The last one here, pandemonium as responders rescue 7 persons in Waik office fire.
All right, taking a look at the front page of the Daily Post newspaper this morning, you find this one, 2023, it's my turn. How Osinbajo Amechi became Tinubu's foes. Politics there. Also, it's over. Tinubu speaks on bad relationship with Osinbajo, talking 2023 as well. U.S. evacuates embassy staff, families in Abuja over terror alert. Atiku will destroy Nigeria, not Tinubu. Fani Kayode carpets Obaseki. Elsewhere, Onitsha flood victims get relief from international bureaus. You want to take a look at that one from the Daily Post. You also find this one, Governor Emmanuel donates 100 million naira relief materials to flood victims in Bayelsa. Arrest of Smaila Yakubu not political, Taraba Council boss says in that particular headline. Group 4 CBN move to redesign naira notes. You can take a look at that one from the pages of the Daily Post. Okay, already took this one. U.S. evacuates embassy staff families in Abuja after terror alert.
Premium Times newspaper, why we are exceeding borrowing plan to fund budget, finance minister. Also, Fashola lie say disregard for town planning, failure to heed warnings, worsened flooding. Brain drain, Nigerian Medical Council denies signing bilateral agreements with UK government. CBN to launch new Naira designs December, suspends deposit charges. CVR, INEC, the list 2.78 million registrants, say Nigeria's voting population now 93.5 million. Updated, Nnamdi Kanu, another court rules against Nigerian government. Kidnapping for ransom increases in northern Cameroon. Also, 137 legislators in Ghana move motion to sack finance minister. Governor Otom demands apology from Atiku, says Fulani alone can't make PDP candidate president. Okupe remains DG of Peter Obi's campaign team as party presents fresh list of 1,453 members. Few more, just 2 before we look at another paper. Why we are exceeding borrowing plan to fund budget, finance minister. And the last one here. 2023, Memiko rejects inclusion in Atiku's presidential campaign council.
From the Nation newspaper, Ayade Umahi Ikpekpeazu meets Wike in Port Harcourt. Federal government, states and local governments share 700.235 billion naira for September 2022. Oyetola appoints new Akiro, 9 other monarchs. It will take 30 years to control flood, says federal government. That's one you might want to take a look at from the Nation newspaper this morning. Federal government insists on Air Nigeria with Ethiopian Airline as core investor. Okupe remains DG as LP releases final list. No admission offer has been cancelled, that's according to JAM. Also, Sanwo-Olu opens 3 new fire stations in Lagos. Nigerian students push for Tinubu Shetima presidency. Take a look at that one from the Nation newspaper. Some of the stories out of the Nation this morning.
All right, from the Daily Trust newspaper. Did Peter Obi really suspend his campaign? Also, a majority reform bill will give hope to millions of children, parents, lawmaker. Islamic Development Bank expresses concern over a high number of out-of-school children in northern Nigeria. Arewa in search of true leaders. Also, petrol scarcity worsens in Lagos, Abuja, Kano as marketers blame depot price hike. Why CBN will redesign currency notes. Canada, Australia raise fresh alarm over likely terrorist attack in Abuja. I are forgiving Osinbajo, Tinubu. Terror threats, U.S. moves to evacuate citizens, embassy staff from Nigeria. Benue will vote against Atiku if he fails to apologize. Tom, those are headlines from the Daily Trust newspaper. Right now, we'll move to a commercial section to bring you some commercial messages. When we come back, then we'll bring you analysis of the news. We have Prof in the house already. Good morning. Stay with us.
International trade. It's not a one-man business. Take trading with and in China. One man loads a ship with containers, another man clears them. One man offloads the goods, while another brings them down to the market. business is all about finding the right partners. Visit www.stanbicibtcbank.com/Nigeria Bank/business for all the support you can get for your trade businesses. Go for growth with Stanbic IBTC. Stanbic IBTC. It can be.
Kids Twisco to support their big dreams.
Twisco, power your dream.
Everybody won't connect to something greater. Connect to the moment, the winning goal, to history. You know fit one now. Watch the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 on Showmax Pro. Oh yeah now. Stream all 64 matches of the World Cup live from Super Sport on Showmax. Experience every game, anywhere, on up to 2 devices. It is available in HD and 4K also. Icho. Almost sign up now at showmax.com.
Hi, my name is Tenny Makanaki, and did you know the metaverse is made for us to create, to free our imagination, and bring our biggest ideas to life? If you can dream it, you can create it. With Metaspark, your music isn't just for your fans at home. Your augmented reality stage can be anywhere. Dress up your avatar and give it some bling. And your next art piece can also be a one-of-a-kind digital collectible. So what are you waiting for? Come flex first in the metaverse with Meta Technologies. Naija, go to meta.com to discover how.
On my way, I got one question for you. Sure you know say better sleep they improve how you dey live. Oh. If you rest for better form like Muka phone, you go enjoy your life. Oh. You go battle yourself. Oh. For play or for work, Muka phone. Now weekend they want oh. Quality guaranteed, Muka phone. Satisfaction assured. Oh. Medical endorsement, we get them. We don't pay our dues. Affordable product, we confirm now. Muka for me, yo. Muka for na correct. Muka for na baba. Muka for na forest. Muka no get our. If you the talk of comfort, if you the talk of rest, yo. If you want value for your money, now Muka for me, yo.
Muka, adding comfort to life since 1959.
No matter what I do, you love me unconditionally. You show up for me every day, no matter when I show you.
A mother's love is unconditional. Nothing serves this love better than a bowl of Indomie. So, show some love with Indomie.
There's nothing like a one-man business. Take agriculture. One man clears the ground, plants the seed, and weeds the farm. Another man develops the best fertilizers to enable better yields. One harvests, while another packages to preserve. Business is all about finding the right partners. Visit www.stanbicibtcbank.com/Nigeria Bank/business for all the support you can get for your agricultural business. Go for growth with Stanbic IBTC. Stanbic IBTC. It can be.
Kids Twisco to support their big dreams.
Twisco, power your dream.
It's a new dawn for Nigeria. Oh, better days are coming. Better days that gives us hope and strength. DUROTILU boys determined to keep this hope alive. Bring the smiles back to all Nigerians.
It's a new dawn in Nigeria. Renewed hope beckons on our people. The silver lining dots the skies.
The firmament portents a bright future as the people of Nigeria move to vote a man whom they have come to trust for the realization of their aspirations for a better Nigeria. That man is Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He has been tested. He can be trusted. Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria 2023. Vote Kashim Shettima as Vice President. Vote APC. Surely with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the smiles are returning. We are close to home.
Bring the smiles back to all Nigerians.
32 FM 94.9.
Well, it is unfortunate. I shouldn't be the one responding to this because I was the one that, unfortunately, our presidential candidate profiled. And it will appear to me that he is working with INT'L, because that is the same language that INT'L were saying about me. I have never profiled any Fulani man. I have always qualified anytime I call Fulanis. These are Fulanis from Niger, from Mali, from Senegal, from Mauritania, from Libya, from Chad, who have come together and say they will take over our country to become their own. And that is why they have displaced our people. And who on earth will say I should not say that? I am the governor of Benue State. And it was not correct for a presidential candidate who is seeking to rule the people to say that kind of a thing. It was very wrong. And it will appear that he doesn't even reference me and consider me to be a governor of my state. I'm not in his campaign team. Nothing there, I'm aware. The people they appointed there, no consent from me, and so on. So, me, I remain my own, but I'm waiting. When the election comes, we shall vote the election according to the election.
That was Samuel Tom, Governor of Benue State. Welcome to Press Analysis this morning on 32 FM 949 Ibadan. My name is Dele Adeyanju once again.
My name is Kenny DUROTILU. We have Prof in the house with us, Professor Oluwajedokun. Good morning, sir.
On top of the day, a pleasure to be here.
All right, sir. Prof, your response to this voice note, it's actually a video.
Yes.
Is Atiku making different mistakes at different times?
First and foremost, what we have is a quotable quote. He's giving us a quotable quote. The elections will be decided according to the elections. So that's a quotable quote. Some feel that Atiku may be committing political suicide on forced errors. In other words, when you have an election, there are various paths to victory. You know, you have various electoral paths that you can navigate. And what Atiku is doing by statements he's making is narrowing those paths. In other words, maybe he sees only one path to become the president of this country. I think to antagonize Wike, to antagonize Autumn, you understand, it's suicide. You can't keep on antagonizing the various governors. The Middle Belt is going to be key in this election. The South-South is going to be key. Of course, the whole of the Northern Nigeria too is key. But Atiku, you understand, cannot just rely on the whole of the Northern Nigeria to be able to win and to govern. So I don't know what is going on in his campaign, but something, self-correction, needs to happen, and needs to happen quickly if the PDP is going to become competitive in this election.
Do you think Atiku has something up his sleeves to win the election? Because as Tinubu is closing ranks with other governors from all other ethnic groups, then Atiku seems to be moving further away from these people.
Yes, I think somebody has convinced him that he has the northern vote in the bag and that he can become president of Nigeria with negligible support from other parts of the country. I think somewhere that's the indication. That seems to be the path that that is towing, and I think he's convinced that Tinubu or Obi, you understand, could gather enough support in the north. So he's looking at a game of numbers. But what he's forgotten about is that there's also the need for spread. So the election is not just about numbers, it's about spread. And because there are three parties, really, for the first time in this election, we have the possibility of a second round. And if he antagonizes sufficiently other parts of the country, if there's going to be a second round election, they just can't go up against him. It's as simple as that.
All right, Prof, let's take a look at another story. The CBN plans to redesigned naira to counter counterfeiting, kidnapping by December 15. Now, we understand that 2.7 trillion naira out of the 3.23 trillion naira in circulation is outside the vaults of the commercial banks across the country. That's the reason they're giving for this particular one. Let's have you speak on that.
I wish I could have more confidence in the governor of the central bank. Wish I could have more confidence in someone that has printed 21 trillion naira, printed it through ways and means to support the growing debt of the government. And I'm sure that a lot of people don't have much of the confidence. And I can understand the reason that has been given. But let me also tell you and predict what will happen. You know what a lot of people are going to do is they're going to change this money into dollars. We are going to have dollar inflation. The dollar is going to go up in price. And when the dollar goes up in price, what's the implication for the Nigerian economy? It means more inflation for Nigerians, and it means more hardship. So yes, I understand why they're doing it, but the consequences, you understand, may well be more sorrow, pain, and suffering for Nigerians.
What do you say to Nigerians who feel that at this time, is this what we need? We have lots of issues on our hands. We have lots to tackle with at this point in time, and you're talking about redesigning our currency.
Well, redesigning is just an euphemism for changing the money. I think basically what they want to do, really, the emphasis is not on redesign, but changing the money. Of course, it's going to cost some money to change the money. But if the circumstances are right, if the timing is right, then there's no reason why you can't do that. Periodically, it's done. But the problem with it is we are moving into an election. We are moving into Christmas. You're giving this, how many days are given? I think it's to the end of the year, to the 31st of December. Stand to be corrected. I don't know whether that's true or not. But the circumstances and the timings are right. And the confidence in central bank is also another issue, from that point of view. So I would have wanted this to happen, but not now, not to the tail end of this administration, but much, much later. And the CBN needs to revisit it. The National Assembly, if they still have a job, need to revisit and ask the question, is it not going to cause dollar inflation? And is dollar inflation not going to cause more hardship for people? Because most people are not going to go to the banks to drop this money. They're going to go to their what do you call the BDC? You understand? Borrow the change it into dollars, you understand? Store it in dollars, and a lot of people don't want to go to the bank because they don't want to be exposed. You understand? Especially if the money is illicit. All these kidnappers, what do you call them? They're not going to go to the bank. They will go to the BDCs. You understand? Change it into dollars and wait for this the storm to ride out and change it back into the new currency, whatever the design you choose for it.
Do you think the CBN is prepared for that?
Well, first and foremost, I've never rated Emefiele. He's a retail banker. He's not an economist. So I'm not sure that he himself has considered that far-reaching implication. I'm not sure.
Petrol nears 200 naira per litre as ex-depot price, debts, logistics escalate scarcity. The queues are everywhere in Ibadan.
Well, I went yesterday because I had rumors that there were queues, and I didn't see no queues. Around 7:30, I was out, and I saw no queues at all. But obviously, there's scarcity because when I wanted to buy fuel for my generator, and I sent one of my cronies, you understand, to get it, it took a much longer time than it normally would. I think it started in Lagos. I think it's to do, you understand, with landing costs again. Landing costs have gone up again. And landing costs have gone up again because all our petrol comes from abroad. We refine it abroad. So we're still dependent on price changes that happen abroad. On the dollar strength and the dollar weakness, it still continues to affect us. And I think what the marketers are trying to do again is certainly move the goalpost again.
To 200 naira?
Yes. At the end of the day, they're not doing it for charity. You understand? They're doing it to make money. And that's what they're trying to do. And anytime they want to do that, what they do is they induce scarcity so that the government, of course, bows at the knee and allows that to happen.
So at the end of the day, maybe by December next year, we'll be buying 250 if the trend continues.
Yes, if it continues. But you see, to me, the appalling thing about this is that we still continue to pay humongous subsidies. Not so much for the subsidies for us, but subsidies for petrol going out of the country. A similar economy like Indonesia, like Egypt, not Indonesia, but Egypt, more specifically Pakistan, have 21 million liters. That's what they, in terms of petrol. And Nigeria, you understand, we have 66. It doesn't tell you, you understand. We don't have to be told that most of the petrol being used or most of the subsidy is not being spent on you, but on the outside. And I think the drastic solution most people are suggesting is going to be painful. Is just remove the subsidy entirely and find ways to cushion the suffering that people would encounter.
And if subsidy is eventually removed totally and honestly, what happens? Like, what's the range of the price that will be selling per litre?
It could go to 400 or more. It could go to 400. And the implication for the economy, of course, you know that there's going to be massive inflation, and that's where the government needs to be prepared, from that point of view. So, of course, we know it's going to bring suffering, but can we continue when we borrow money to pay for the luxury of a subsidy?
Because the thinking is how, in the long term, what is the benefit of that? If we have petrol selling for 400 naira per litre, how does that benefit people? Is it a short-term suffering as an exchange for long-term gain?
I think it's short-term suffering because look at it. We're already borrowing, you understand, to pay the subsidy. And the borrowing is running out. People are beginning to increase the rate of borrowing. Moody has downrated our status, our credit status. You understand? We're going to junk status. Right. So at the end of the day, we may not even be able to borrow. So if you can't borrow, what do? Then you're in a mess. So whichever way, you understand, is going to be a difficult decision. But I think the more long-term decision, which is immediate pain for the long term, will be to remove the subsidy and find ways to use some of that money to cushion some of the pain and suffering that people are going to encounter.
All right, Prof, let's take a look at this one. The U.S. has moved to evacuate citizens, embassy staff from Nigeria. The reason for that, the elevated risk of terror attack. Meanwhile, the federal government says that all is well and there's no cause for alarm.
Well, most people will trust the intelligence of the US and the British and the Western world and trust our intelligence because we have leakages in our intelligence. We have lack of cooperation in our intelligence, and our intelligence gathering has been very porous, very porous and abysmal. So I think people should, be cautious. You understand? It doesn't mean anything is going to happen, but I think what it means is that people need to re-examine their movements, re-examine their steps. Let's just hope, you understand, as we always hope in Nigeria, that this is just a false alarm.
How wrong can three countries be? You have Australia, Canada also issuing travel advisories to their citizens. I mean, what's going on here?
No, they can't be very wrong. Usually these people listen to chatter. What do I mean by chatter? They listen to the internet chatter, what's called social media chatter, and what goes on there is that they look for keywords and common words. And once they keep on saying Abuja, 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 Nigeria, 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 you understand? Then they know that there's something amiss, from that point of view. So there's an analysis. It's scientific. They don't just make up these things, you understand, through guesswork. So I would give them, I'll put my money on it that they know what they're talking about. Truth is, they might have thwarted, you understand, the attempts of terrorism, but I will put my money that they can't and are not wrong.
Well, let's look at the response of the Nigerian government to this evacuation of citizens of America, especially from the embassies. Now, the federal government of Nigeria just responded and said America is also unsafe as U.S. orders evacuation of citizens. So America is not also unsafe for Nigerians.
Well, that's a puerile, infantile response by the Nigerian government. Whoever made that remark, I think the reality of it is that nowhere in the world is particularly safe in that sense.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, spoke to State House reporters yesterday. He said the security situation in the U.S. too was unpredictable, as many school shootings and senseless killings had happened there.
No, there have always been shootings in America. There's always been that because people have the right to bear arms. So for, what's his name, Lai Mohammed bringing it is below the belt. He's not addressing the substance of the issue. The issue is not about the killings in America today. The issue is about the safety, about terrorism alert in Abuja. So it's quite unfortunate that he would descend that low. And I think much more is expected from a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right, in other reports, politically now, I have forgiven Osinbajo. That's a statement from Tinubu. But some people will ask, did he offend Tinubu in the first place? Is it a crime to, contest for the same position or to aspire to that's just some people's thinking. But for him to say he has forgiven Osinbajo, then that means a lot of things happened on the ground.
Well, I mean, if you look at many positions, deputy vice chancellor, a deputy managing director, or deputies. Once you get to the position of deputy, I don't think it's a criminal, a crime to want to aspire to the next step. That's just the way life is. You want to go up, don't you, from that point of view? And that's what happens. And of course, he was the substantive vice president of this Federal Republic, and he saw an opportunity. He felt that he was able to go, and he went for it, and he lost. Those things happen. So, of course, many of us will think that he didn't commit any offense at all. But many of the Tinubu supporters, and maybe Tinubu himself saw it as an act of betrayal, that we brought you up, we nurtured you, you understand? But what they forget is that the young shall grow. The person that you teach tomorrow could be your boss the next day. That's just the way life goes, the cycle of life. So, yes, it seems that they think that he might have offended them. But it's also a good thing that he's extended, in quote, magnanimity, in quotation marks, and said he's forgiving him, because the reality of it is that they can't keep on keeping grudges, against Oshibajo. There are many people still think that the best chance of APC to have retained that position would have been the cerebral Oshibajo, but it is not the case, and they just have to swim with the tide.
So could it be the statement playing on Nigerians that, let's see, forget about past issues, we know how to deal with our issues? So maybe that statement just came out to cement that.
Yes.
Maybe they had no issues. Maybe.
No, it's possible that they had no issues, and maybe it's just the way that it was presented and articulated. I think, whatever applies to Oshibajo also applies to Amechi, applies to Kayode Fayemi, applies to Amosu, applies to all those other political personalities and characters that also contested against Ashiwaju, apologize, and lost.
All right, Prof, let's take a look at this one. The INEC chairman yesterday came out to say that the voter register has swollen up to 93.5 million. The highest numbers are talking states now: Lagos, Kano, Kaduna, Rivers, Katsina, and Oyo State with the highest number of registered voters.
Well, that's implications for the election. Lagos, of course, many people feel that it's Ashiwaju's ground. Katsina, some people feel is open between the APC and between the PDP. So I think the implications of this, especially knowing that the youths are the majority in terms of those that are registered, the implications might actually alter the election, might turn a two-party election into a third-party election. But I think the interesting thing is that people are realizing their civic responsibilities. More people are registering. It must be a good thing. And I think if you look at the analysis, people are suggesting that even more women have registered than men. I don't know how far that is true.
All right, just before we take our next break, IU must go. I won't ditch Wike, other PDP governors, Mimiko. So he doesn't want to get involved with the issues on ground.
No, it doesn't. But what's obvious is that Mimiko is not swimming in the tide of Turaki, Adamawa. It's not swimming in this tide. And again, that's problematic for Atiku. It is problematic because he has some sway in Ondo, not complete sway, but he certainly has some sway in Ondo. That's Mimiko.
All right, so we'll take a break for some messages. When we come back, we open the phone lines and we'll read your messages on Facebook and YouTube. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, 32FM 949 Ibadan.
Our country one better. Nigeria one better. Our country one better. Nigeria one better. Who go do one for us? Tinubu, Papa Tokambo, Mama Tokambo. For a better Nigeria. Good life uncle. Now you we want to. Now you we need oh.
Yes, so people of Nigeria, they jolly for the better we want shele for we country. So as they ready to vote Ashiwaju Bola Tinubu as the next president of Nigeria, our people don't look the matter well. Say now only Bola Tinubu don't do what everybody feels. See, now him get the experience where he go fit use take make our country better, make life sweet for we and our picking them. Bola Tinubu don't gather better plan to chase down work for we youth, better school, the security of lives and property, unity and peace for all we country people of Nigeria. For this and many other better things when in don't bunklize, it good make we all vote Ashiwaju Bola Tinubu for president of Nigeria. Vote Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party where show broom.
Now you we need oh.
Kids Twisco to support their big dreams.
Twisco, power your dream.
Beat Sakpa with Jumia Black Friday. From November 4th till the 30th, you can get access to all those products you've had your eyes on all year at prices that will leave some change in your pocket. You also don't have to pay for delivery fees on thousands of products when you order above 1,999 naira. T's and C's apply.
Jumia, your everyday delivered.
You know, there's nothing like a one-man business. An entrepreneur gets the idea, another supports the business with debt financing. One farmer plants, another harvests with equipment finance. A merchant plans to import from China, another connects him to the right agent. Business is all about finding the right partner. Visit www.stambicibtcbank.com/Nigeria Bank/business to get started. Go for growth with Stanbic IBTC. Stanbic IBTC. It can be.
No matter what I do, you love me unconditionally. You show up for me every day, no matter when I show you.
A mother's love is unconditional. Nothing serves this love better than a bowl of Indomie. So, show some love with Indomie.
Show me love. You show me love.
I've got the passion to chase my dreams, to become who I wanna be. Add my flavor to my life and make it truly mine. Mama door, tasty food and nutrition, cooking oil, spread and seasoning. Explore your flavor with Mama door.
Mamador, explore your flavor.
Everybody won't connect to something greater. Connect to the moment, the winning goal, to history. Unofi do now. Watch the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 on Showmax Pro. Oh yeah now. Stream all 64 matches of the World Cup live from Super Sport on Showmax. Experience every game, anywhere, on up to 2 devices. It is available in HD and 4K also. It choke. Almost sign up now at showmax.com.
It's Visco. That is a drink that I love so much. My favorite chocolate creamy drink. It's so nourishing and so yummy. Visco.
Give your kids Twisco to support their big dreams.
Twisco, power your dream.
Our country people, they talk with one voice. Them say that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu them want as president of Nigeria for this president election.
Asiwaju Bola Tinubu na the man where we all know and see all the good work in they do for we country, especially when him be governor of Lagos State.
Now him got the use turn Lagos to the best state for Nigeria.
Today, many people all over Nigeria they like to go Lagos, go settle down for business and better life.
All because of the good work when Bola Tinubu do.
People of Nigeria, as Asiwaju do for Lagos, now so him ready to do am for the whole country.
Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for president of Nigeria. Vote Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party we get broom.
32 FM
94.9.
Welcome back. This is 32 FM 949 and the program is Press Analysis, Press Review actually. Yes, we have messages on Facebook and we have calls, but the numbers to call 070-55,949 and 080-97,949. So the man Sheriff writes on Facebook, the redesign of the Naira note is a strategy to check the capital flight and force those that have acquired the currency legally or hoarding cash to spend it, most especially the kidnappers and politicians who are hoarding money for the 2023 election. It will force them to bring it out. My concern is that the solution to our economic dwindling? Will this increase the value of Naira, or it will make the 1 Naira equal to $1, according to what APC promised us during the election campaign? Hello, good morning, Barkeys.
The CBN stand to redesign Naira. It's a good one. You know, in most countries, when they want to control inflation and criminality, they use that method. However, they are thinking that some politicians who have taxed up money is going to curb them. No, some of these people will become philosophers. If they will use the startup naira to mop up the dollars. So invariably, it's going to keep on devaluing the naira while the value of dollars will keep rising up. Then at the critical stage that we are in Nigeria, I don't think that is what it's necessary now. Then are we even talk about the money, the price that we use in redesigning the three notes? Let's wait till the federal government comes up and tell Nigerians the huge billions of naira that they have planned to use to redesign the naira. So economically, I don't think it's a wise step at this moment we are in Nigeria. Good morning.
Thank you, Balkis Onojiro, for calling. Yes, Omotayo Oluwarotimi Onabamiro, I think the design of the naira notes will encourage capital flights. 99% to 100% of Nigerians are thieves. Only those that do not have any opportunity to steal complain. Is that the truth?
I object to that. I object to that. That's a very blanket statement. How can he say that 95 or 99% of Nigerians are thieves?
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Allah is my name. I'm calling from Ibadan here.
All right, caller.
I think concerning the issue of Atiku and some aggrieved governors, to me, those governors, they don't know what they are doing. They are only digging their political grave. Let's just look at it in this way. It's just like an addict. When they give them meat, they complain that those meat are bones. They now ask them to throw it away. And at the same time, they now complain again that they can still find some piece of meat there. That is the way they are doing their own things. If they want to pull out of the PDP, it is even better for them to pull out of the PDP than just to be doing anti-party in that party. To me, Autumn cannot control the whole Benue state, and Wike cannot control the whole River state. Maybe Autumn has forgotten that the party chairman is from that state. And whatever they want to do, they should settle it amicably. Not that this man has already called them. Atiku called them several times. They reneged. They didn't answer. What else did they want him to do? Okay. Look at our governor here. He has been using style to ease himself out of their camp. Because our governor here did not even say anything since. But we can continue to be talking. Autumn continue to be talking. Right. And if to say that it is Atiku these people hate, we can have no right to go to Lagos and endorse opposition candidates there. To me, it's wrong. Okay. They are only, and let me tell you this, you will see what will happen. It will shock the whole Nigeria. That is my own contribution.
All right, Prof, anti-party activities, is that something against the weekend?
Well, in the Fourth Republic, nobody has really taken anti-party activities that seriously. But if you were in the Second Republic or in the Third Republic, I think Wike would have been a gunner. Of course, it's anti-party activities.
Yeah. Morning, Dele.
Morning, okay.
Prof, good morning. And Kenny, good morning. This is okay.
Good morning.
Prof, just like rightly asked, I also asked, much as the money redesigning, please allow me to use this word, beautifying the money more. Is that really right at this particular moment? We agree it's a way of controlling some of these irrelevant excesses, but is it really right at this particular moment? And of course, on Lai Mohammed, which we know him for who he is. He is always reckless and heartless. He doesn't have people in his mind. He just talks excessively, recklessly. The response I heard from him, even a baby wouldn't say such. For God's sake, these people alerted us of something. Prof, we are all aware now that even the Americans they have started pulling their people. If there is nothing there, would they say it? And if you say there is nothing, we ask this government, what actions have they taken to make sure this doesn't happen? Good morning.
All right, thank you, okay, for calling. Yes, we have just 3 more minutes to wrap up.
Let's take this one from Facebook. Olayinka Detola says the APC-led administration by President Buhari is not faithful to Nigeria because they promised us a lot before they came on board, that they will rehabilitate our refineries. They told us that subsidies are a scam, but unfortunately, all promises have been cancelled. Thank you there for that one. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ayo from Badaya.
All right, go ahead.
In the actual sense, Oshibajo actually offended Tinubu in a political setting. Because it was brought up from this camp. Why should you rise up against your master, against your method? So he actually offended him. That is what I think.
Let me just make a quick remark. I mean, this is politics. We are not slaves to anybody. You understand? In politics, you understand, you contest and you win. And you can contest even against your mentor. That's just the way it is.
All right. Omar Adekunle, the failure of the federal government to rehabilitate our refineries is one of the factors that is affecting. Oh, that I won't be able to continue with that. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
This is Okwemi from Akubo.
All right, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okwemi from Akubo. To me, I think the CBN governor said the new notes will tackle inflation. I keep on asking myself that how? To me, they should find a lasting solution because our naira has already been devalued. Because I do not see any impact if naira are being redesigned. Federal government should find ways to make our naira to be valid, to be relevant. What can 1,000 naira buy again in the market right now? So I think redesigning it will not do any good. The best thing is just for them to try and make sure that economy are more better than now. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you very much. I do appreciate that call. On Facebook, we have another message. Raji Raja says, good morning, Dele and Kenny. About the autumn statement, honestly, it's like the results of presidential election is beginning to appear. Wike is out of Atiku's camp. Autumn is follows, and technically, Shea Makinde is also out. Then what else is remaining? Election will be won according to election. God bless Nigeria.
Mimiko is also out. And
yes. I mean, there are many people who want the three candidates to be competitive, but the way it's looking now, it's looking as if one candidate is being more competitive than the two others.
All right, just before we wrap up, we'd like to celebrate with our Chief Executive Officer and the Managing Director of 32FM and 4 Communications. That is Mr. Tunji Abioye, who adds a year today. So nobody's leaving the office today. It's freebies, birthday songs, birthday, and all that. So, Prof.
Including guests?
You are not a guest, you're a part of the family. So we expect you to, around 12, just make sure you're here.
Just make sure I'm here, okay.
All right, so, TJ, happy birthday. We celebrate you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sir.
My name is Dele Adeyanju. Thank you, Prof, for coming.
Thank you.
My name is Kenny. DUROTILU, the Smart Kids Show is up next. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the guest analyst and do not necessarily reflect the recommendations or perspectives of 32FM 94.9 Ibadan.
Okay, my people, this na the station where they totori your body with betalicious Dele with the boss brain.
Better with the boss brain. Best music. You're in the mix. The music. Best music.
32 FM 94.9. Now we dey fill the world with laughter.
Your problem.
The Smart Kids Show with Auntie Yellow, building a total child.
Hey everybody, let's play a game with shapes. Circle, circle, up and down. I see circles all around. Where do you see circles?
Wheel.
Wheel.
Ball.
Ball.
Button.
Button. Ooh. Triangle.